dread phone calls from numbers that I don't recognize. I used to love it, especially LA numbers that I don't recognize. There was a high chance that it was Hollywood calling about to give me my own television show. But now, since one of my 3 part-time jobs, #ActorLife, is working as a leasing associate for Williams Real Estate Advisors, unrecognizable phone calls are a different story. Most of the units that I show are newly renovated and overpriced in a neighborhood that is gentrifying, so 75% of the phone calls that I return go like this. I'm calling to inquire about an apartment on Harvard. Yes, how can I help you? How much is it? $1,795. What? $1,795? A month? Yes. For a 1-bedroom? Yes. And then there's usually a defeated, oh. Once a woman just shouted, "That's too expensive! That's too expensive!" and hung up the phone. At the end of the day, the worst part of the job are these phone calls. Otherwise, I usually meet interesting, kind, potential tenants, often young couples who are moving in together, and it gives me the warm, fuzzy feeling of helping people. Emphasis on the word usually, because for every 10 hipsters in love, there's a genuinely insane person who passes through. With these situations in mind, I was handed a pocket mace keychain at my first leasing meeting, just in case. I laughed when I was given the mace and never carried it with me, but that was before I was given 2 units to show in North Hollywood. One of the units was still occupied by a girl named Esther Chang. Note the Asian last name only because that will come up later. Esther had been very friendly and competent over the phone. When I arrived early at the unit, before I even stepped inside, I learned that she was also a pot smoker and a pet owner just based on the smells that were wafting out of the space. But she was indeed very friendly and decided to take her 2 dogs for a walk while I showed the unit. The open house was going pretty well. We had some interest. I had some good conversations with potential applicants until about 40 minutes in when a blonde woman stormed in. She was wearing a scarf in the way that women in old movies wear scarves when they're riding in the convertible with their dapper lovers. And she had meth teeth. You know the kind. What's going on? Hello. Welcome to the open house. Please sign in right there on the sign-in sheet, then take a look around. I live here. Where's Esther? Oh, you know Esther? I'm her roommate. Well, I couldn't quite process I live here. As far as Williams Real Estate Advisors knew, only Esther lived there. A secret roommate. Curious. I soon learned this blonde meth girl's name was Bridget. She proceeded to gush how pissed she was that Esther had started to show the unit without telling her, and she assured me that she was going to be staying in the apartment and her friend Justine from Palm Springs was going to be moving in and taking Esther's spot. I smiled and nodded, already knowing that would never fly. I've become very good at the polite smile and nod in this job. That weekend, I scheduled an appointment with Esther to show the unit once again. The day of the open house, I arrived early to set up and knocked on Esther's door. She opened the door, flushed and disoriented. You're here early. Oh, I don't need to go inside. I just wanted to check in with you. I looked into the apartment. There were clothes all over the floor. And then, bring me back my stuff, bitch! I looked into the apartment and I saw Bridget with a bottle of whiskey in her hand and a grimace on her face that showed off those meth teeth. Esther began to throw the clothes that were all over the floor out into the hallway. I told you she was coming. People will be here soon. You need to get your shit. Get your shit. No, Bridget whined. You didn't tell me. You didn't tell me. I didn't know. Was she crying? Then Esther grabbed the dogs. Those are my dogs. Those are my dogs. But despite Bridget's pleas, Esther dragged the little pug and Maltese out of the unit and into the hallway. Bridget stormed out of the apartment, stepped over the clothes strewn all over the floor, and pinned Esther to the wall. I was terrified. Suddenly, both girls were swinging and kicking, clawing and pulling. Glasses fell off. Faces turned red. Screams rang out throughout the building. Unfortunately, there had never been a day of training for my leasing job that covered what to do when a tenant and her meth-head roommate start duking it out just moments before you host an open house. So I relied on my instincts. I hid in the studio that I was also showing that day right across the hall. The studio tenant was still inside, eating a plate full of mushrooms. Just mushrooms. He was completely unfazed. No sooner had I closed his metal door before I heard, "She'll be my witness!" Me? I'll be her witness? My brain started fogging up. Was it my duty as a fellow human being to be a witness in this situation? I mean, I guess it's sort of like when you get in a car accident and you want a witness. I guess I would want a witness for myself. Okay, I want someone to do that for me, right? Okay. So I took a deep breath and stepped out of the mushroom man's apartment. The fight had moved back inside the girls' unit. Esther and Bridget were now rolling around on the floor, kicking and screaming. I decided to take control. Ladies, please, do we have to resort to physical violence? Yes, because I'm going to win, shouted Bridget. At this point, my first open house guest arrived. Wide-eyed and southern, he looked from the clothes to me, to the clothes. I'm here for the open house. I was a deer in the headlights, still processing what was still going on. Yeah, follow me. He stepped over the clothes and we headed into the studio. I decided that the sooner that I could get the fight taken care of, the better. So I excused myself, left the guest with the mushroom man, and returned to Esther's apartment. Maybe I should come back later. Guess we won't do the open house today. Esther and Bridget were now in separate corners of the room, bracing themselves for the other's next move. I think that would be best, said Esther, still pacing. I returned to the studio, hoping that things would finally feel normal and professional. But as I asked the southern man if he had any questions, the three of us all heard, "I hate you fat-faced chink!" None of us could pretend anymore. I looked into the southern man's eyes and said with the deepest sincerity, "I'm so sorry." That's okay. We've all had roommate issues. So I was here for the one bedroom, but yeah, we're not going to be showing that one today. Needless to say, he did not want to take home an application. Eventually, I did lease out that apartment, but only once Bridget and Esther had gone their separate ways. And now I carry my pocket mace diligently to all of my open houses because you just never know who you're dealing with. Thank you.